I've hiked solo for years. Forests, ridgelines, caves, you name it. But nothing prepared me for the Appalachians. Locals always warn me about those woods. If you hear your name, don't answer. I thought it was just old mountain superstition. They were right. I started my hike near North Carolina, just past an old ranger station with a closed sign duct taped to the door. I figured it was abandoned until I saw someone watching me from the window, pale, expressionless. I blinked and they were gone. Chalking it up to nerves, I hit the trail. Around mile 7, everything went quiet. No birds, no bugs, just dead silence. I checked my GPS signal. Gone. Then I heard it. A voice far off behind the trees. Chris. That's my name. But no one should know I'm here. I hadn't told anyone where I was going. I shouted back, "Who's there?" Nothing. Only wind. Then the voice again, closer this time. Chris. My gut twisted. Something was wrong with the way it sounded. Like a recording trying too hard to sound human. I picked up the pace. The trail began to narrow unnaturally, winding between gnarled trees that hadn't seen sunlight in years. The air smelled like copper and rot. I tripped over something sticking out of the ground. A boot, still attached to a decaying leg, half buried under leaves. Panic hit me like a brick. I ran, but the woods weren't the same anymore. The trail twisted and reformed behind me like it was alive. Then I saw her, a girl, maybe 10 years old, standing dead center on the path. Pale skin, long black hair, eyes too wide. "Are you lost?" she asked, smiling. I backed away. "Who are you?" She didn't answer. Her head twitched sideways, a fast, unnatural jerk, like a glitch in reality. Then her mouth opened far too wide, and in my own voice, she whispered, "Chris." I bolted off the trail. Branches clawed at my skin. I didn't care. Eventually, I found an old shack deep in the brush. It looked like it hadn't been touched in decades. The door was half off its hinges, the windows broken. I stepped inside and nearly gagged. The smell of rotting meat was overpowering. Animal bones, antlers, and human teeth were strung on rope like decorations. Carvings covered the walls, symbols I didn't understand, but they pulsed when I looked at them. In the corner was a journal. I flipped it open. If you're reading this, it's already inside you. They mimic the lost, the lonely. They wear your skin like clothes. Don't answer your name. Don't look them in the eye. And never, ever follow the singing. As if on cue, I heard it. A soft, childlike humming outside the shack. Getting closer, I dropped the book and crouched behind a pile of firewood. Footsteps approached, but not like normal steps. These were dragging, twitching, wrong. Through the cracked wall, I saw it. The girl again, but her face was melting, shifting like wax under fire. Her arms bent backward at the joints. Her eyes rolled around in their sockets like marbles, and she was humming. She passed the shack and vanished into the trees. I didn't breathe for 10 minutes. Then I ran. Again, the sun never came up. My watch said it was 9 a.m., but the sky stayed pitch black. I wandered for hours in darkness that shouldn't exist. Eventually, I found the ranger station again. Or, I thought I did. The building looked the same, but older, collapsed, covered in vines. I went inside anyway. In the corner of the room was a dusty mirror, and in it, I saw myself. Except the reflection was smiling. I wasn't. It raised its hand when I didn't. Then it opened its mouth and said, "Chris." I smashed the mirror and ran until I saw headlights. A search party found me stumbling out of the trees, bleeding, half naked, covered in scratches and babbling about voices. They told me I'd been missing for 9 days, but I only remember one night. Since then, I can't sleep without hearing that voice. And last night, I woke up to knocking on my door. 3 soft knocks, followed by a whisper, "Chris." But the part that terrifies me the most, I live alone, and I never told anyone where I moved. I took the job out of desperation. A logging company was hiring seasonal workers up in the Appalachian backwoods, just south of Elkmont. Good pay, free housing, and meals included. Sounded perfect. The only catch: don't be outside after sunset, the foreman warned. And if the town disappears, just wait. It comes back. I laughed. He didn't. The town was called Croft Hollow, and it wasn't on any map. No phone signal, no internet, no GPS. You either got there by following a rusted railroad that veered off the main path, or not at all. I arrived late afternoon. Croft Hollow looked like something out of a black and white photograph. Weather-worn buildings, dirt streets, an old chapel with a bell that hadn't rung in years. The people were strange, polite but hollow-eyed, smiling too long, staring just a second too late. The general store clerk, an old woman with clouded eyes, said, "You're not from here." "That's bad." I shrugged it off. The first night, I stayed in the workers' bunkhouse. There were 8 of us, fresh blood for the mill. By 6:30 p.m., they all started heading inside. "Shift's done already?" I asked. One guy, Alan, pulled me aside. "Look, man, just be in your room before sundown. Lock the door. Don't look out the window. Don't listen to the bell." "There's no working bell," I said. He just stared at me. There wasn't. That night, I tried to stay up. 6:57 p.m., the sun dipped low. Shadows stretched long and thin like they were being pulled. 7:02 p.m., I locked my door, just to be safe. At 7:10 p.m., I heard the bell. It was deep, echoing, like it came from under the earth instead of above. I looked out the window. The town was gone. I mean gone, replaced by black forest, tall and gnarled. The buildings vanished. The chapel, the mill, the street, gone. Only trees and eyes, dozens of them, watching me. I stumbled back from the window, heart racing. When I dared to look again, the eyes were gone, and the town was back, just like that. I didn't sleep. The next morning, I asked the foreman what the hell I saw. He only said one thing: "Now you know. Stay inside." But I couldn't leave it alone. That day, I found an old man sitting on a bench near the chapel. He looked like part of the mountain itself, skin like bark, eyes yellowed. He told me the truth. This town used to be normal, until we dug too deep. Under the chapel, we found a hollow place. Not a cave, a space. Something was sleeping in there. We woke it up. "What is it?" I asked. "Not a what, a when. This place slips out of time when the sun sets. The forest you see isn't this world's, and the things in it, they were faces." I thought he was crazy. Until that night. Sunset came. The bell rang again. I stayed in my room, but I heard a knock. "Alan, you good?" I called through the door. No reply. Then a voice. "It's me, man. Let me in, please." It was Alan's voice, but it wasn't right. It repeated the same sentence. Same tone. No variation. "It's me, man. Let me in, please. It's me, man. Let me in, please." Like a broken record trying to sound human. I didn't move. I didn't answer. After a few minutes, the voice stopped. The next morning, Alan's bed was empty. He never came back. I decided to leave. I packed up, followed the old railroad tracks, and walked for hours. Only, the trail looped. I ended up back in Croft Hollow. 3 times. The fourth time, I found a dead deer blocking the path, its head turned backward, legs bent wrong. Its eyes blinked at me, even in death. The old man found me again. You can't leave unless it lets you. The hollow. It's not just the name. It's what this place is. A void, a mouth, and every few years it feeds. I asked him why the town came back at sunrise. Because it needs bait. New blood. Like you. The fifth night, I made a mistake. I stayed in the chapel. I thought it was safer. Holy maybe. At 7:03 p.m., the bell rang louder than ever. The walls melted into darkness. The pews stretched into trees. The altar cracked and bled. I wasn't in Croft Hollow anymore. I was in that other place. The forest smelled like burnt hair and wet dirt. And the things in it. They had faces, but no mouths. Just rows of teeth where their eyes should be. They didn't walk. They twitched, like puppets dangling from broken strings. One of them wore Alan's jacket. Another looked just like me. I ran through that forest until I saw a door. Just standing alone in the clearing. A single red door, upright in the dirt. No frame. No walls. I opened it and stepped through. When I woke up, it was morning. Back in the bunkhouse. Everyone was gone. No people. No sounds. No sun. Just the bell, ringing faintly in the distance, over and over. Croft Hollow didn't come back. It swallowed itself whole. And I'm still here. If you find this, don't follow the railroad. Don't take the job. And if someone knocks after dark, don't answer. There's a saying in eastern Kentucky. If you hear someone singing in the forest after dark, you're already too close. I always thought it was superstition. Backwoods folklore to keep kids from wandering off. But last week, I learned why they say it. I'd been camping solo along the Pine Mountain Ridge. It was my second night. Fire was going, tent staked tight, and the forest was calm, wind in the trees. The occasional hoot of an owl. Peaceful, until I heard it. Faint, off in the distance. A woman's voice. Singing. No words. Just a soft, humming tune. Sad. Gentle, too perfect. I thought maybe it was a local or someone playing music on a speaker, but something about it felt wrong. It wasn't coming from one direction. It was everywhere, like the trees themselves were humming. Still, curiosity got the better of me. I left my fire burning and followed the sound, flashlight in hand. That was mistake number one. About 50 yards in, I found the first sign something wasn't right. A rabbit, dead but untouched. Not a scratch on it. Eyes wide open, blood leaking from its ears. It looked like it had died of fear. The song grew louder. Still no words. Just the same hypnotic melody looping, pulling me deeper. I should have turned back. Instead, I pressed on. I found a clearing surrounded by crooked trees, like their trunks had grown mid-scream. In the center stood a woman, back turned to me, long black hair, pale feet, white dress that looked older than the dirt. And she was singing. That voice, it wasn't coming from her mouth. Her lips weren't even moving. It came from around her, above her, below her, inside me. Every hair on my body stood up. I took one step closer. She stopped. The forest fell silent. Then she began to turn around, but not normally. Her neck twisted first, then her hips followed, then her feet. Slowly, too slowly. And when I saw her face, it wasn't a face at all. No eyes, no nose, just a wide, black mouth stretched from ear to ear. No teeth, no tongue, just sound. The song kept playing, but now it was coming from inside my head. I ran. Branches clawed my arms. Roots tried to trip me. The song chased me like a swarm of bees inside my skull. I made it back to my fire, but it was out, like it had been dead for hours. And my tent? Gone. Just flattened canvas and torn rope. But my phone, still in my jacket, said I'd only been gone 14 minutes. I didn't sleep. At sunrise, I packed up and got the hell out of there. Drove 4 hours straight until I reached a small town called Letcher Hollow. The gas station attendant took one look at me and asked, "Did you follow her?" I froze. "Follow who?" "The one that sings," he said. "She ain't real. Least not anymore. Just a voice now. Mimics what you miss, what you want. And when you find her." He pointed to a corkboard behind the counter. Dozens of missing posters. Hikers, campers, locals. "She don't kill you," he said. "She takes your face, leaves you walking and singing just like her." Hollow inside. I left without gas. Thought I'd be safe at home. But 2 nights later, it started again. That same tune. Outside my window. Soft. Lulling. I live in a 4th-floor apartment. There shouldn't be anyone out there. I turned off the lights, peered through the blinds, and saw myself standing on the fire escape, staring back at me, mouth wide open. No sound, no lips moving, but the song was louder than ever. I haven't slept since. I hear her everywhere now, in the fan, the shower, the TV when it's off. She's learning to sound like people I know. My mom, my ex, my own voice. This morning, I found a note on my kitchen counter. "Just one more step, and you can sing too." I didn't write it. I don't know what happens if I give in, if I follow the voice again, but I can feel her getting closer. And last night, when I looked in the mirror, my mouth started moving by itself, and I wasn't the one humming.